What's up, 12's Victor here. And man, this Super Bowl week just keeps getting more intense by the hour. As we get closer to kickoff against the new England Patriots, the Seahawks are sending some very loud messages without saying much at all, and if you're really paying attention, you can feel it. This team is doing everything possible to make sure they're ready for Sunday. Let's start with the biggest question every Seahawks fan has been asking all week, the quarterback. Seeing our guy take full reps in practice this late in the week is about as encouraging as it gets. This is the same quarterback who fought through pain in the playoffs, stayed composed, protected the football, and absolutely tore apart elite defenses on the biggest stages. That kind of toughness matters in the Super Bowl, especially against a Patriots team that thrives on forcing mistakes. At the same time, the coaching staff is clearly playing the smart. You've got a rookie defender being handled carefully, key linemen on managed workloads, and some real concern around. Except at certain positions, this is what championship preparation actually looks like. Calculated, cautious, and detailed. And here's where things get really interesting. Just days before the Super Bowl, Seattle made a last-minute roster move to make sure their quarterback feels protected, supported, and comfortable no matter what happens on Sunday. Depth matters, experience matters, and when you're playing for a Lombardi trophy, having someone on the roster who's already lifted that trophy before, that's not accidental. This move tells me one thing: Seattle isn't gambling. Seattle isn't hoping. Seattle is preparing for every possible scenario. So today we're breaking down why this practice update is such a big deal, what the injury management really tells us about confidence levels, and how this late roster addition could quietly play a role in winning Super Bowl 60. Before we dive in, do me a favor, hit that like button if you believe toughness. Women's Championships, and subscribe to Seahawks Nation update only if you're a real fan. Only if you truly believe the Seahawks are about to finish this run and bring another Lombardi back to Seattle. Because 12 best preparation meets opportunity on Sunday night, and this team looks ready. Let's get into it. All right, 12s. This is the kind of update that can swing a Super Bowl. This update tells us a lot about where this team really is heading into Sunday, and why the Seahawks are in a great position to finish this story the right way. Let's start with the headline. Sam Darnold was a full participant in Thursday's practice. That is massive. Remember, Darnold injured his oblique right before the NFC divisional round against the 49ers. Most quarterbacks would have missed time. Instead, he went out there and played one of the cleanest games of his career in a blowout playoff win. Then, in the NFC Championship game, he was limited all week and still absolutely shredded the Rams. Now here's the key stat. This was his first full practice since January 14th. That tells us two things. The injury is healing the right way. Seattle is confident enough to take the training wheels off. Darnold doesn't need to prove he's playing. We already know he's starting. What matters is mobility, torque, and comfort in the pocket. A healthy oblique means better velocity on deep throws, better movement off play action, better protection against re-injury. And let's be real, this offense runs through play action and timing, and Darnold has been elite at that all postseason. In these playoffs, he's been efficient, turnover-free calm under pressure. That's exactly what you want from your quarterback on the biggest stage. Now let's talk about the name that might have worried some of you. Nick Emmanwori did not practice Thursday. But listen, this is not bad news. Head coach Mike Macdonald made it very clear this is about being smart, not concern. This is a rookie defensive back in the Super Bowl. You don't push him early in the week if you don't have to. Macdonald literally said he'll be ready to go regardless. That's coach speak for relax. We've got this under control. Seattle has handled injuries all postseason with patience, and it's paid off. Expect Emmanwori to ramp up closer to game day. Until we hear otherwise, this is injury management, not a red flag. Other key injury notes. A couple of quick hits here. Charles Cross was limited with a foot injury. This looks like standard maintenance. If this were serious, we'd know by now. Robbie Oostz remains limited with a neck injury. This one is more concerning. Neck injuries are no joke, and the fact that he hasn't been available to media is something to monitor closely. That said, Seattle has shown all year they can adjust personnel without losing identity, especially on offense. Big picture. Why this matters for the Super Bowl. When you zoom out, here's what this injury report really tells us. Your quarterback is trending up. Your defense is being protected, not rushed. Your coaching staff is calm, confident, and in control. That's how Super Bowl teams operate. This doesn't feel frantic. This doesn't feel desperate. This feels ready. Now I want to hear from you, 12s. Do you think Sam Darnold being a full participant changes how aggressive Seattle can be on offense? And are you worried at all about Emanwari? Or do you trust the process? Drop your thoughts in the comments. All right, Seahawks Nation, this is Super Bowl mode. And when a team makes a last-minute roster move days before the biggest game of the year, you know it matters. The Seattle Seahawks are about to face the New England Patriots. And just hours before kickoff weekend, Seattle made a quiet but very telling move, adding a brand new weapon for Sam Darnold. A move that screams one thing. This team is locked in, this team is prepared, and this team is not leaving anything to chance. Before we break it all down, do me a favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update if you believe the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl. Only real believers hit that subscribe button. Let's talk ball. The move, Cam Akers elevated. Let's get straight to it. The Seahawks have elevated Cam Akers to the active roster for Super Bowl LX. Yes, that Cam Akers, a Super Bowl champion, a running back who knows exactly what this moment feels like. This is not about headlines. This is about insurance, experience, and trust. Seattle understands one simple truth. In a Super Bowl, depth wins championships. Why this matters for Sam Darnold. This move is really about making Sam Darnold as comfortable and protected as possible. Darnold has been phenomenal this postseason, calm under pressure, efficient with the football elite on play action. And guess what makes play action deadly? A credible running game. With Zach Charbonnet suffering a season-ending injury, Seattle could not afford to go into this game thin at running back. Now the depth chart looks like this. RB1, Kenneth Walker III, RB2, George Holani, RB3, Cam Akers. That's balance. That's flexibility. That's Super Bowl preparation. Cam Akers, what he still brings. Let's be real. Cam Akers is not the same explosive back he was early in his Rams career. But here's what he does bring. Super Bowl experience, one Super Bowl LVI, pass protection knowledge, ball security, situational awareness. In a game where one missed blitz pickup can change everything, that matters. Akers doesn't need 15 carries. He needs to be ready for one moment, and champions are built on moments. Velus Jones-Jr. also elevated. Seattle didn't stop there. The Seahawks also elevated Velus Jones Jr. from the practice squad. This adds special teams depth, speed on the edges, emergency offensive flexibility. Again, this is about covering every scenario. Pete Carroll used to say, always compete. This roster move says, always be ready. Big picture, what this tells us about Seattle. Here's what I love about this move. Seattle isn't panicking. Seattle isn't reacting late. Seattle is anticipating. This is a coaching staff and front office that understands. The Patriots are disciplined. The margins will be thin. One injury or one mistake can swing the game. So they load the roster with experience, depth, championship DNA. That's how Super Bowls are won. Now I want to hear from you, 12s. Do you like the Cam Akers move? Do you think depth at running back will be a factor against New England's defense? And how confident are you in Sam Darnold heading into the biggest game of his career? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. And again, like this video, subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update, and if you truly believe the Seattle Seahawks are about to lift the Lombardi Trophy, make sure you're subscribed. This is Victor. This is Seahawks Nation Update, and we are one game away from history. Let's go, Seahawks!